Okay, today we'll discuss the Payment of Wages Act. We have studied Industrial Dispute Act and Trade Union Act. Then we have three things: Payment of Wages Act, Payment of Wages, Minimum Wages Act. Looks like very similar, but there are different objects. ମାନେ ତିନିଟାଙ୍କ ଆକ୍ଟ ଯୋଉ ତମେ ଯୋଉ ଦେଖୁଛ, Payment of Bonus Act, Minimum Wages Act and Payment of Wages Act. ତମକୁ ଲାଗୁଛି related, similar, but ସବୁ ଆକ୍ଟର different objective, different aims ଅଛି ଆମେ ତାକୁ ପଢିବା. Today we'll go through Payment of Wages Act. We'll take at least 2-3 classes on each act. Payment of Wages Act ଆମେ ପଢିବା କ'ଣ meaning, କ'ଣ wages, ସବୁ different component of wages, କ'ଣ act ଅଛି, the content of act, then objectives and definition, and what you mean by wages, what are the principles of this act, how this is implemented, what is applicability of this act. We'll read all these things. First, you go through the meaning. Objective of the Payment of Wages Act. Meaning, the Payment of Wages Act regulates the payment of wages to certain classes of the person employed in industry, and its importance cannot be underestimated. The Act guarantees payment of wages on time and without any reduction except those authorized under the Act. तमाने कौन तम बुझलो wages माने तमे गोटे लोकको चाकरी देछ, काम करूछ, whether it's a industry or home or company, wherever. ତା ବଦଳରେ ତମେ କ'ଣ ଗୋଟେ ଲୋକ କାମ କରୁଛି, ତା ବଦଳରେ ଜଣେ କ'ଣ ପାଉଛି, ସାଲାରୀ ପାଉଛି, ଦରମା ପାଉଛି। ସେଇ ଦରମାଟାକୁ ୱେଜେସ୍ କୁହାଯାଏ। ତମେ ୱେଜେସଟା କେତେ ଦିଆଯିବ, କୋଉ ଫ୍ରିକ୍ୱେନ୍ସିରେ ଦିଆଯିବ, କେମିତି ଦିଆଯିବ, everything is written in this act in different sections. Those things we'll read in a brief. So the meaning is to pay that amount. तमे जो लोक पार काम करोज, लोक काम करोज, ताको जो पैसाटा दोज, that is the main remuneration, payment. And how frequently you are giving, whether you are giving regularly or not, how you are giving, everything there in this act. The act provides for the responsibility of payment of wages, fixation of wages, time and mode of payment, wage period. तमे जो काम करूछ, तुमको तुम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने प्रति दिन पैसा दोची, प्रति वीक रे पैसा दोची, कि प्रति मास रे पैसा दोची, that time is the wage period, fixation of wage period, time and mode of payment of wages, permissible deduction, कौन deduct होची, कौन deduct होनी, everything is written in this act. And one definition is given that is a kind of question coming in some exam. Similar question may come, write the meaning and definition, so you can remember this slide. So I have given one simple question here. The definition of wage under this Act 1936. Wages includes all remuneration. So this is a key word. You remember this, remuneration, which are expressed in terms of money, mainly money. So whenever you are asking someone to work, you are compensating through money. You are giving it on a weekly, daily, or monthly, or fortnightly. That is your wage period. That is the meaning. Then section 2 of this act tells about what are the wages, what includes, what cannot include. So what I am thinking, I can give you a summary of all important sections. Like section 2 talks about wages. What is section 3? What is section 4? What is section 5? So like that, you will have 6, 7 sections in this which are important. I can give you a summary of that. So right now you remember the section 2, what is the definition of wages? The term wages includes any remuneration payable under settlement between two parties. Who are the two parties? Employer and employee, the workers and the owner. So any remuneration payable under settlement between the work, what they are giving the service. Against that, any remuneration is called wages. Remuneration with respect to overtime, work, holiday, or leave period. Suppose you are working overtime, your company is giving something that also called wages. In some holiday, in some leave period, every year you have to take some leave. Suppose you are not taking leave, you are making encashment of that leave. So you will getting money for that leave. You are not taking that leave. You are not taking that advantages, that benefits. So that is also considered as wages. This is two main definition of wages. So any remuneration coming for the service what you are giving, and any work when you are doing overtime, holiday work, leave compensation, any additional remuneration under terms of employment as bonus. Suppose when you are joining an organization, as part of your employment, the company, the organization has promised something as part of your employment that they'll give you 10% or some commission amount based on your productivity, based on your work. So that is also wages when some commitment is given to you as part of your employment on commission or bonus, or that is also wages. So that is additional amount along with your monthly bonus. Any sum which is payable on terminating the employment. So whenever a person is terminating, like you are asking, separating that person from the organization, from the company, then you are giving some salary for additional 1 month, 2 months, or whatever as part of the employment. That is also called as wages. Any sum which is payable or terminating the employment. Any sum under any scheme framed under any law. Suppose government has declared some scheme or some law, you are paying that as per the government rule, government law, that is also wages. In some countries, there are some clause government has declared, okay, employee has to get this percentage from the organization profit. So every month you are giving the employees for that. So that kind of rules and regulations, if you are following as per the government rules, then that is also wages. So these are considered as wages as per the section 2 of this act. The term wage doesn't include. What is not included in this term? Any bonus not on the terms of employment. Suppose employment କିଛି मेंशन नहीं, कंपनी बेले बेले मझे मझे तुमको बोनस दिए, बहुत प्रॉफिट है वाला कंपनी ना, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बहुत प्रॉफिट है वाला. What organization declared that they will give 5%, 10% of the profit to entire employee. So that is very frequent, very rarely coming, like once in a year, not frequent. So that kind of things are not wages. So it depends on the company. So that is not committed in the employment. So when you are joining or those things are not committed, but based on the company's decision, profit sharing scheme, company has a scheme, so they are sharing some profit with you. So that type of bonus is not included. Value of house accommodation, supply of lights, water, medical assistance. Monthly you are getting something like suppose company is giving you quarters or accommodation or some facilities for electric light or some medical expenses, medical reimbursement. That type of things are not wages. So these are benefits you are getting. Pension, provident fund. Every month company is deducting some funds as part of your salary. Every month these companies deducting something. So that is called not included as well. Suppose you are getting salary and part of that salary company has deducted something as part of your provident fund and that is given to the government is deposited in some account, your provident fund account. That is not included as wages. That is a expenditure of yours and company but not included as your monthly wages. Maybe when you retire, you will use for pension scheme. Some company, some organization deduct some money as part of and keep some funds and they give the lump sum amount as part of your retirement that is coming as pension. Similarly, any special expenses. Suppose you recruited a person, a group of person who are in a different country, a different state. You are transporting them from there to your factory. So you have some expenses, any special expenses for that person. Relocating. You are bringing out your people from a far location to your company. That is a special expenditure. Those are not wages. You are spending, the company is spending for those employees for some purpose. Gratuity. Gratuity, you know. So whenever you are working in a organization for a long time, so whenever you retire, so you'll get a lump sum amount based on your number of years you work. Suppose you worked for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. So you will get some benefits for those years. So what is your, so that is gratuity. So that kind of a lump sum amount are not part of wages. So as per section 8 is defined what is wage, what is not wages. This is important when maybe for exam point of view, sometimes I have seen some MCQ are coming, multiple choice coming as part of this definition, which is section 2. What we need to include in wage, what we don't need to include in wage. So when you're calculating the wage, so you have to consider few things. This slide to remember and use that in calculation. So in the next thing, we'll see the objective. What are the objectives? Why this act is in place? What government thought that we need this act, Wage Act 1936. कौन कौन प्रोब्लेम हैतला हमरो जे हमरा ये एक्ट आनिया पड़ला एक्ट इज नथिंग बट ए law or rule and this is approved passed by both the house in some slide or in the earlier class I was telling. So objective means what is the importance of this act and why this act is in place to ensure regularity of the payment. So when you are paying your employees, you are making sure you are paying on a regular basis. ଏମିତି ନୁହେଁ ଯେ ଆଜି ପଇସା ଦେଇଦେଲି ଆଜି ପଇସା ଅଛି କାଲି ପଇସା ନାହିଁ ପୁଣି ପରଦିନ ନାହିଁ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଏମ୍ପ୍ଲୟି ଯିଏ ତମ ପାଖରେ କାମ କରୁଛି ସିଏ ଜାଣିନି ସେ ଡେଲି ପାଉଛି କି ମାସକୁ ପାଉଛି କି ୱିକଲି ପାଉଛି କ'ଣ ପାଉଛି ସେ ଜାଣି so the purpose and objective of this are to pay on a regular basis regularity and you have to ensure that suppose you are giving the salary every Monday. That means every week, every Monday, so that you are very sure, and the employees are very sure that every Monday, every week, we are getting salary. That kind of regularity. Ensure payment tender. So, ensure payment tender means what? What you are paying, the cash or the money, you are paying in a legal way. It is something, there is a proof behind it. You are not paying in an illegal way. So that is, you have to make sure you are paying, suppose you have 1000 employee, you are paying 500 each, then you are paying the amount and you have a agreement, you have written there and you have taken signature or bank amount or whatever, however. So it is a legal payment. Ensure payment tender. Preventing arbitrary deduction. Arbitrary deduction मन इच्छा तुम जहाँ चाहूच तो डिडक्ट कर पाइबनी देयर इज ए रूल तुम को क्लास रे डिडक्ट करिवो कोन डिडक्ट करिवो सैलरी केते डिडक्ट करिवो केते परसेंटेज डिडक्ट करिवो ता सब रूल अछि you cannot make your own decision you cannot make सपोज जन 100 टा जन को दबार अछि तमे हेतरो 60 टा डिडक्ट कर कि 50 टा डिडक्ट कर ultimately से लोक आउ 50 टा पाइला you cannot do that arbitrarily. That means you have to follow the act, you have to follow the rule, restricting employers to impose fines. गुड़ाए पेनाल्टी क्लॉज अच्छी को केस रे तमे एम्प्लॉइज को फाइन कर परिवो पेनाल्टी कर परिवो को केस रे कर परिवोनी you cannot use your own thought own decision on that so employees whoever are working they are very well aware they can read the act and they can sue you they can go to the court if you are doing something illegally paying something or deducting something or charging penalty on employees another objective is provide remote remedy to workers what is remedy to workers that means everything whatever you are paying what you are doing the wages it helping the employees and employer to define everything what are the wages how you are paying how frequently you are paying and what is the mode of payment everything is written and that way it is providing remedy to workers so workers are very clear on that so these are the main objectives so if the act is not there then you can do whatever you want so there is no regularity there is you can deduct whatever you want you can charge penalty so these are the main objectives of the act so when we studied this Wage Act 1936. The main meaning, what is the objective, what is the principle, what is wage, what is called wage. So the main meaning is in this side. And what includes wage, what doesn't include in wage. So what we read so far, to try to remember this. So most of the things are summarized and you can write in the exam based on that. Another thing we'll read features. It's more or less similar to that. From the exam point of view, you will get one question, one essay type question. What are the features? You remember a few things. Obligation of employers. If there is no act, so employers will have problem and employees will have problem. Every employer is responsible for payment of the wages. Suppose you are asking some people to work. So your job is to pay. You are responsible for that. You are obliged for that. That means every employer is responsible for the payment of the wages to all the employees that he employs. That means when whoever working in your organization, you are making payment to them and you are responsible for them. Additionally, apart from the employers, all the persons so named person as responsible to the employer, the person so nominated shall also be responsible for such payment. That means whoever representing the employer or whoever recruiting the people, and they are all obliged or they have an obligation to the employees to pay their remuneration. जोटा आम कहते ओडिया पारिश्रमिक तुम्हें जिते लोक कम कर तुम फैक्ट्री तुम घर यू हैव टू गिव सम वेज based on their skills, based on their work. So as an employer, so you have that responsibility to pay them. So that is one important feature. Another feature is wage period. This is what I was talking, wage period. Whether it's a monthly or daily or weekly or fortnightly, you have to define. You have to tell the employees. So everyone is aware of that. Every person responsible for wage payment shall fix a period in respect of which such wages shall be payable. Suppose you are saying monthly, so that means end of the working day or first of every month or weekly. So every week, which day you will pay? Monday or Tuesday or whatever. So that is called wage period. No wage period shall exceed 1 month. So that is in act. Wage period cannot exceed beyond 1 month. So it will be daily, weekly, or maximum by 1 month. Time and mode of payment wages. So when you are time, this is something related to wage period. So once your wage period is fixed, so when you are paying and how you are paying, so that talks about time and mode. Deduction will read in detail. What are the deduction allowed in the wages? What are the deduction you cannot allow? So we'll go through that in detail. So these are the features. The first one is obligation to the employee, wage period, time and mode of payment, deduction. These are the features. Then we'll read more on deduction. We'll take a quick break now. After 5 minutes, we'll join. Then we'll talk more about wage period and deduction. Thank you.